I finally got my checks. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hi, good morning. I started off my morning by, of course, having my coffee and journaling a little bit. I got ready and honestly, it's a hair wash day and I decided to do a slick back bun. I decided to get ready today, honestly, because yesterday I spent all of my day editing and I didn't change out of my pajamas. So today I made sure to make a little extra effort to change into some different clothes and also do my hair a little differently. I very rarely wear it like this just because I have a lot of hair and it does get heavy, so my head starts to hurt and it gets weighed down, but I decided to do something different today. And then I spent the later half of my day finishing up Atomic Habits, and this was my second time reading it. I did start reading it again because I didn't end up finishing it. I think I got almost halfway through and then I just stopped reading it. But now that I've completed it, I've been doing some of these practices for a while. Granted, they don't stick, and now that I finished the book, I'm like, okay, this is why they didn't stick. Because over time, habits just get boring, plain and simple. They just get boring. It isn't that we're bad at being able to have these habits. It's just that we're not making them attractive enough. And a lot of our bad habits are more attractive and give us more dopamine hits. The later half honestly was much better than the beginning half. The beginning half of the book does talk a lot about how to get 1% better and how that 1% improvement compounds over time and you're able to see great results. This idea of having a little bit of improvement every day has always made sense in my brain. I've always been a slow and steady wins the race kind of person, and I have always had habit trackers, and I've always had the urge to get better and improve and grow. I think that that's just like where I am naturally. What I appreciated about the book was the explanation about it and how we tend to think that we want to break a habit instead of creating a habit, and how we don't necessarily know how to do either. So it is a lot about making the good habits attractive and satisfying and making the bad habits unattractive and unsatisfying. There is a portion in the book where he discusses environment and changing your environment, and simply doing that for a lot of people is just exponentially better for them and it helps them much better than creating a specific habit. But that is also in conjunction with keeping up with your habits. Reading this book was reaffirming and validating, and it is such a simple read too. He has written it in such a digestible way. There are summaries of the chapter, like key points at the end of every chapter, and then every chapter is also pretty short as well. So if you wanted to do like a chapter a day, because that is part of the like 1% better, right? If you just read one chapter a day, if we do just focus on getting to the gym, being there for 5 minutes, eventually it changes your identity, and it's not necessarily creating, while your goal may be to lose weight or gain muscle, that's not your identity. Your identity is someone who is disciplined and goes to the gym for health, for a better, healthy living style. So it is about reframing and being very specific about your words. And it was really nice to have that validation of the identity, because a lot of the time, like especially if you're an athlete, I feel like you can get bogged into or like boxed into, I am an athlete, but really all of the skill sets is what you are. All of the skills that you've harbored, that you've trained, like you're not just an athlete, you're a disciplined individual who loves physical challenges. And that kind of mentality and that reframing, I think, is so crucial because I'm an actress. I do love acting, but actually, and I tell this to so many people, like I went to school for theater arts and it gave me so many different skill sets that I need everyone to go to a theater class because you don't come out just doing all of these like fun games and everything. You have listening skills like there's no tomorrow. Your listening skills are insane. The ensemble work, you become so aware of your surroundings, you're observant, you're punctual because being 15 minutes early is being on time. There are so many skill sets that come with being a theater major, an actor, that isn't simply put, I'm an actor, I'm this. So that's just like the talk on identity, which I sincerely just appreciate having read because I do think that we get bogged down, which is also something that is difficult to break. Like we're so tied to our identity and we're so tied to who we were. I know I do. I know I reminisce a lot, but I always go back to like, oh, that Karina was someone who was a go-getter. That Karina was someone who took on all opportunities, who took on all challenges. That Karina, like whenever I speak on my past self, I think about that. Especially like I've been telling my therapist lately too that I've been thinking about teenage Karina, and teenage Karina had some confidence. Like I want that confidence again. It's a really good book if you have the money to purchase, or if you have a library card. I think Libby, the app Libby, you can always rent it for free if you are an e-reader. That's always good. I highly recommend this book. Very digestible. There was also at the end of the book, another takeaway that I appreciated was on habit tracking. And that's what I've been getting myself back into. And there's been sporadic occasions where I heavily track. The last couple of years, I have been my mental health has been a priority, and I needed to track a lot of different things about how my body was feeling, how my mind, my emotions, and everything, my sleep, my everything. And I needed to be very specific and just see what was going on with me. That way I had the data. And then I always joke about me being a scientist. Like, we are scientists. We track, at least I am. I track, I go and read my data. I redefine or I refine all of these little points and then I try again. Like that's what a scientist does. You test, you recalibrate, you test again. And so the habit tracking was very validating because I was like, oh, that's right. I am on the right track. I am doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing because I've been applying a lot of different things that came from this book. I've been applying a lot of these teachings to my content, to my videos here on YouTube. The last like 2 weeks, I've been doing review sessions on my videos. So I put all of my stuff, I have all of my content stuff in my calendar, in my Notion. On there in the page, I have reflections. And so I'll reflect and I'll review what worked for this video, what didn't work for this video. I took that from my monthly reflections that I do just for myself every month in Notion too. And it was very helpful to see like, okay, well, what do I want to improve for the next video? What would I like to focus on? Because we can get so easily obsessed with numbers, especially in this day and age. We are social media everywhere, and the numbers are so arbitrary, but I get so fixated on numbers that I have to take myself away from it. I'm like, okay, you're obsessing a little too much. Remember, our focus is X, Y, and Z. And with these videos, like this is the first month that I posted more than 4 videos, and I feel really good about that. And I think that the biggest change has been the fact that I've been focusing on my videos themselves, the process of doing it. So taking an example from the book about if you want to lose weight or gain more muscle, make going to the gym, being at the gym for 5 minutes, making it a very easy and tangible thing, because getting started is the hardest. So making it an easy tangible thing. Mine was, okay, my videos have been recorded. Let me open my laptop, dump all of the videos, organize my file, and upload it to my timeline. And every single time I told myself to do that, I would sit there and edit for at least 5 minutes, because I was like, well, I'm here anyway. I might as well just edit for 5 minutes, and that would get me like the first 3 minutes of a video or something. Or I end up just doing a full rough cut and I'm like, okay, this is a really good stopping point. And I stop. And that's the other thing, is that if you tell yourself to do this one thing, it might jump to the next thing. So you are already ahead of schedule, but also knowing when to stop is very important, because I am very susceptible to burnout. I definitely did that in college. I don't want to do that again. While I was a go-getter and I want that energy back, I do not want to burn myself out again. But that also came from trial and error. I did that after college. I had multiple jobs. I was doing far too much, and I was also a people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser now. So I did all of that, and I am slowly learning what I'm good at, what I need to do for my future, etc. And in doing all of this, in tracking your habits and just reflecting on your own growth, looking back at your own stuff, like you learn so much about yourself. And that is actually like the thing that I loved about creating videos. And that's why I always go back to making YouTube videos, is because I look back at my videos and I'm like, wow, I've grown so much. Wow, I am that kind of person. Wow, I do love to be creative. Wow, I do love this. It is so reaffirming and validating to see my own growth. I'm just obsessed with myself, basically, I guess is what I'm saying. Well, thank you for staying here and listening to my review of Atomic Habits. Again, if you've read it, let me know. I finally finished it. I reread the beginning twice, as I do for a lot of books, and I hope that this is the first of many. This is my first full read of 2026. I feel good about that. I definitely want to read at least 12 books. At least 12 books this year, which is roughly like once a month, but I could obviously do a little bit more if I just feel compelled. And then anyways, okay. I'm gonna go check my mail and see if my checks are in, because I've been waiting on that, so that way I can pay some bills, update my tracker, and go on with my day. I think I'm gonna make zucchini bread for the first time today. I think I'm gonna do it. Let's see how it goes. I am so happy. I finally got my checks. Oh my gosh. So I worked 16 hours last week. I mentioned that in my last video. Almost a month ago now, I also worked maybe like 7 hours or maybe more, because here we got paid for a full 8 and then it says that we had time and a half of 2 hours. So I guess it was 10 hours. We did get called pretty early that day too. Anyways, I received both of my checks and I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful, and I'm about to digitally deposit this because I need to keep my monies secured.
Keep that in. Tell them all your boyfriend was working.
So the recipe called for 2 8x4 pans. I only have one, I think. And then I didn't disperse it. I didn't half it properly. I didn't have 2 of the same pans. We'll see how it comes out. We'll see. It smells good. Ooh. She is looking good. I also didn't have a teaspoon. So now I know what to get. Now I have to clean all my dishes, clean my counter. I think I could have been fine with just the one and filling it all the way to the top and just making it like a really big loaf. But the rest called for 2. And now there's like a tiny little, like this thick. Let me show you. Crust? You get this. What do you think?
It's good.
Pretty yummy. Comforting.
That should be the reaction of the guy coming in.
Oh, it's bubbling. Oh, it stopped. Look at the little bubble.
Not exactly. Just want to keep this makeup position. It's important to you.